asking the question, given the state of the manuscript tradition, what makes the most sense? That Paul was just giving a summary list, did not include this, but later scribes inadvertently added it because of the parallel out of Deuteronomy, the overriding emphasis that the Greek Septuagint had in textual variant issues. Otherwise, you have to come up with some type of explanation as to why all these different sources, all these different early church fathers, all these different translations, and every manuscript family, from Alexandrian to Byzantine, has witnesses that do not contain the phrase. Now, there's no... Then what the guy does... let me see here. Not the point. And if there be any other commandment, the issue is omission and who omitted. It's not a matter of who omitted. It is a matter of what Paul wrote. See, you are so wedded to your tradition that you can't hear what's being said. It's not a matter of omitting anything. The question is, what is more likely? That someone who knows the Ten Commandments will inadvertently add it? Or that somehow for someone thinks it's okay to bear false witness and so they removed it? That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. So it's simply allowing the textual data. There's no, you have yet to give me an argument as to why I should believe that this is an exhaustive list of all the commandments, because the rest of the Ten Commandments aren't in there. And he says that if there be any other, they are fulfilled in this. That's his way of saying that's not an exhaustive. I just gave you some of the commandments, and they're all fulfilled in love your neighbor as yourself. Your understanding of the text of Psalm 12 is wrong. Your understanding of Romans 13:9 is wrong. It has nothing to do with omission whatsoever. There is the evidence. Let me see here. But P46 also has hundreds of words that verify KJV and modern versions omit. Not sure we can use that argument. No. Such imbalance. And I'm going to identify it. First of all, I'd like to have some specific examples. But the point is, let's say that P46 contains a reading that is supportive of the Byzantine manuscript tradition as a whole over against, say, the Alexandrian or something else. How is that relevant to this? It's not. It's not. You see, you've got a position, and now you're just trying to do a flanking maneuver, or you're trying to cover your retreat, instead of actually dealing with the material as the material exists. Then we've got every... So now he's going to every place where a papyri differs from the modern text is somehow relevant. Utterly irrelevant. You've been fully answered on Psalm 12. You've been fully answered in Jeremiah 34:16. And you have been fully answered on Romans 13:9. I leave it to the audience to decide from there, because we have other things to get to. But hopefully that was helpful to folks to see, once again, that kind of thinking and the impact that it can have upon folks. Okay, we move on to some important stuff. Did you see what the Pope said? I actually had to check this out because there's just so many fake things put out about the Pope, on these onion type sites that, and of course, all sorts of places where Francis said something and then people just blow it up because he's the Pope. I get that. But I had to check this out. This is from LifeSite News, and generally they tend to be very pro-Roman Catholic. Very pro-Roman Catholic. Pope Francis spoke yesterday, this is from June 17th. Pope Francis spoke yesterday at a pastoral congress on the family for the Diocese of Rome, and his remarks are causing consternation among faithful Catholics. Yeah, they do that a lot, don't they? In off-the-cuff remarks, yep, he went off teleprompter again. Oh, no. Well, was it that Babylon Bee thing? Yeah, remember the Babylon Bee thing was talking about Pope Francis escaped his handlers again today, and they finally caught up with him and got him back inside the Vatican so he could stop saying wild and crazy things. Well, this fulfills it again. The Pope made the dual claim that the great majority of Catholic marriages are null. In other words, not actual marriages. And that some cohabiting couples are in a real marriage receiving the grace of the sacrament. Quote, I've seen a lot of fidelity in these cohabitations, and I am sure that this is a real marriage. They have the grace of a real marriage because of their fidelity, he said. Then, in something almost worthy of the Clinton campaign, the Vatican has provided video of the full remarks by the Pope as well as a full transcript of his remarks. In the transcript, however, the words the Pope, as heard clearly in the video at 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 20 seconds, are changed from saying the great majority of Catholic marriages are null to a part of them are null. So even the guy making the transcript's going, oh man, we gotta say this. So once again, Pope Frankie escapes his handlers. Just that Babylon Bee story was not really a satire. It was a real news story. That's the problem. He escapes his handlers, and Roman Catholic apologists are left just going, because that's. We know where he's coming from. You know where he's coming from. Come on, quit making excuses. Well, I guess you have to. You know, a couple times recently. What? You've got that smile and no. Okay, good. A couple times recently. There's not a lot to listen to on radio when you're driving these days. There really isn't. I can't stand Sean Hannity. And Michael Medved's moved forward a little bit in the day, and they got rid of Hugh Hewitt. He's in the morning now. I don't listen to radio in the morning. So the guy who screams all the time, Mark Levin, he's on in the afternoon now. I can't stand someone who's just constantly, hi, how are you today? You know, it's too much. So once in a while I pop over to 1310 and I listen to what the Romanists have to say. And once in a while I end up listening, and I follow him on Twitter. I listen to Patrick Madrid once in a while. He has his own program on in the morning. And I follow him on Twitter, and I read his tweets. And once in a while, we'll tweet something back and forth. And we sort of just go, hey, you know. Because I don't know.